Good morning, New Beginnings. Are you ready to rock? Are you ready to rock? Yeah. Gotta love that band, Kiss. Let me tell you guys something. Kiss, their name says it all. Keep it simple, stupid. That's all it is. Keep it simple. I went online a little bit and looked them up, right? Last week they were on tour in South America, selling out arenas, okay? Kiss was formed in 1973. 46 years. They've been playing the same 3 power chords, singing the same songs, and these guys are multi-millionaires, okay? They're worth over $300 million, okay? They've been selling out arenas for 46 years, doing the same thing over and over again. Keep it simple, stupid. What do you do in your office? Is your message simple? Is your office procedure simple? Is it simple for your patients to refer to you? Is it simple for a new patient to get in? Is it simple for your patients to come in regularly and get adjusted? Keep it simple. That's all it's about. That's what these guys do. They've been doing it for 46 years. They've been panned by everyone. They've been derided by every music critic. We've been derided by the medical profession for long enough. Who cares? Sell the principle, tell the story, and guess what? You'll be successful like they are. Like half the people, like not even half the people, most of the people in this room, successful. Keep it simple. So, before I get going here, I got a question for you guys. Is it just me? Or is there a heck of a lot of people walking around in this world with their fly open? I mean, seriously, is it? Listen, guys, I am not staring at you all's crotch, okay? Believe me, I'm not. But at least a couple of times a week, you get a patient on the table, they're supine, you're doing a leg check, and you look up to make sure they're straight, and it's like, oh God, I didn't need to see that. I didn't need to see that. Okay? Is it just me, or do you guys get that too? Right? I mean, come on, check the barn door when you leave the latrine. Really? I'm just saying. So anyway, a little while ago, I got a compliment, and I didn't think it was a compliment at first. It was a Friday afternoon, we were busy, and my office is set up like, here's my waiting room, it's open, and then there's a hallway. And then I have open adjusting. It opens up again, and I have open adjusting. And we were busy, and I was back there adjusting, and this guy comes in the back, and he sits down, and he's waiting, and when it was his turn, he comes up by the adjusting table, he's kind of laughing, and he says to me, Doc, you know what? Your office is like a clown car. And I was like, what? He goes, really? He goes, I was out in the waiting room, and people just kept coming out, and coming out, and coming out. He goes, it's like a clown car. He goes, what are you doing back here? And I said, I'm turning on life. He goes, good, turn on mine. I'm getting on the table. So I didn't realize that was a compliment, but it was a huge compliment. So I hope for all of you that your office is like a clown car too. And happy, smiling people just keep coming out and coming out and coming out all day long. So, slow down, heart. All right. Let's see if this works. So what I really want to talk about today are words. I'm going to cover some words. And the first one I want to cover is word. Because some words I don't get. Some things I don't get. And some things I do. All right? Like, I'm really glad that no one uses this expression anymore. You know, like somebody says something and somebody standing nearby goes, word. Right? Remember that? And I could never figure out what the heck that means. Like, what is that supposed to mean? Word. Like, I was like walking away like, what's that mean? True. So the point is, are your patients walking out of your office going on their phone? WTF, I have no idea what he was talking about. Right? What were you talking about? Is it clear to your patients? Are you making it clear? Be clear so that they understand what you're talking about. The other part about word is, words are important. Your words are important, not only to communicate to your patient so that they understand what a subluxation is, but your words are important because what you speak is important to your life. What you speak to the universe is what comes about. So your words are important because it's communication with your patients, but it's also important because how you speak about yourself, how you speak about your practice, how you speak about your patients, it's what's going to come about. Because what you put out into the universe is what's going to come back to you. So be careful with your words and be clear. Be clear all the time. So like I said, there's words that I understand, and then there's words that I don't, and most of them we get into. Oh, what happened there? We skipped a lot of slides. There we go. Let's back this baby up. So, there's some words we understand. A subluxation and an adjustment. Now, you and I in this room, we understand subluxation and adjustment. But do your patients understand subluxation and adjustment? Do they understand what a subluxation is? Now, we tend to chiropractors, we want to explain everything and we want to be clear about stuff. But we get a little too fancy, I think, my personal opinion. I think we get a little too fancy. It's like, what's a subluxation? Well, sub means less than, and lux is light, and light and life are kind of the same thing. And the patient's sitting there going, what are you talking about? And we get like, oh, well, a luxation is a dislocation, and subluxation is less than a dislocation. It's like, and you know what? Hey, it's a disconnection. It's something preventing you from healing. Oh, this is what's keeping you from healing the problem. You have a thing called a subluxation. It's preventing you from healing what needs to heal inside of you. Oh, okay, that's a good explanation. I'm not telling you how to explain it. I'm asking you to keep it simple. Don't get into, patients aren't interested in foraminal encroachment and nerve loop feedback. They don't, you know what? Most patients don't even want to know. I'm going to tell you guys something. You know what? I love John Minardi's stuff. When John Minardi is here and he's sharing all this like scientific evidence and things about nerve loops and how the subluxation actually affects you scientifically, I love that. It's important. But you know what? I'm not going to remember all that and go back and regurgitate it on my patients. Because you know why? Most patients don't really care. They don't want to know. You know what they want to know? They want to know that you know. So when I learn that stuff from John Minardi, you know what that does for me? That enables me to walk into the adjusting area or walk into the exam room with my head up, my shoulders back, because I know that a subluxation is real and it's the cause of your problem. And you know what? That's what your patients want to know. They want to know, do you know what's wrong with me? When you can walk in a room and say, yes, Mary, I know what's wrong with you. Really? Can you help me? Yes, Mary, it's in your spine, and I can help you right here in this office. We can correct the problem so that you can heal yourself. Oh, good, thank you. That's what the patient wants to know. Do you know what's wrong? Can you help me with it? And do you care about me? You care about the patient. That's what they want to know. That's what they're concerned about. Let them have that. Tell them that. Universal intelligence. Innate intelligence. That's a huge subject. You want to know something? In my humble opinion, they're the same thing. Universal intelligence, innate intelligence is universal intelligence in living things. Innate intelligence is just universal intelligence contained in a living entity like a human being. Universal intelligence takes care of the whole universe. We call it innate intelligence when it's inside of a living organism like a plant or a person. 5 minutes already? Oh, come on, man. So innate intelligence is universal intelligence expressing life in a person. Yeah, thank you. So, universal intelligence connects everything. And I want to share a story with you guys. If you don't think that everything is connected by universal intelligence, I'm just going to share this with you, okay? July 3rd, 2014. Some of you will know what that date is. That's the date that our good friend Sigafoos left us. But July 3rd, 2014, I was awakened very early, in the middle of the god-darn night. And I thought it was because I had to go to the bathroom. So I got up, I went and took a leak, and I went back to bed. And I could not sleep. I was tossing and turning, and I was like, oh man, I can't get back to sleep. It's the middle of the night. And finally, it's like innate is saying to me, go see Sigafoos. And I was like, it's the middle of the night, and he's in a coma. What's the point? And innate saying, go see Sigafoos. So it's July 3rd. It's a holiday. July 4th is coming up. Donna and I are supposed to go to our beach house for the July 4th. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to drive to Maryland. So I get up, I shower. Donna wakes up. She's like, what are you doing? I said, innate told me to go see Sig. And my wife being my wife, she listens to her innate also. And she understands when I tell her stuff like this, she's like, okay, go ahead. What are you going to do? You're going to meet us at the beach. So I said, yeah, we have a condo down here at the Jersey Shore. So I get in my car. She says, go. I get in my car. I drive 3.5 hours down to Sigafoos' house. It's still, now I get there and it's still early morning. It's early. And I park the car on the lawn. The driveway's full of cars. And I go for a walk. 3-hour drive, I need a walk, and it's too damn early to go knock on the door. Well, anyway, I go for a walk, I come back, and Carrie comes out of the house. He's like, hey, what are you doing? And I, come on inside. We're all up. Don't worry about it. Come on in. So I go in, and Patsy's there, Selena's there, Carrie's there. I think Dawn came after a little while, and we're just sitting in the living room, talking, telling stories. They're telling me different things, and we're just conversing and talking about life and about Sig. And I sat there for a while, and Sigafoos was right there. He was in a hospital bed in the middle of the living room. And, it got on for a while, and finally I said, I got to go. Other people were coming. I said, I've intruded on this enough. I need to go back. So I left, and Patsy gave me a cup of coffee in a to-go cup, and I started driving back up to New Jersey. Well, I'm going to tell you something. I don't think I was a half an hour up the road. I wasn't even out of Maryland yet. And I got the phone call. And they said, it's over. It's done. He's gone. If I hadn't listened to my innate, if innate hadn't woke me up in the middle of the night, I would have missed saying goodbye to one of my best friends and one of my biggest mentors in my life. I said goodbye to him. I kissed his hand, and I thanked him for everything he did for me. I thanked him for everything he did for the world, and I said goodbye. But innate, universal intelligence knew I needed to go at that time, and innate woke me up so that I could go do that. You gotta listen inside yourself, because innate is real. Universal intelligence knows everything about everything, and if you listen at the right times and you're quiet enough, it will tell you what to do, when to do it, how to do it. Principle and law. We work with principle. We work with law all the time. This is what Dr. Williams was trying to tell us for so many years. It's a law. Principle and law equals faith, right? How many people in this room think these keys will fall if I let go of them? Everybody, right? That's faith. Does anybody doubt that those keys are ever going to fall? Let me tell you something. Faith is knowingness. Faith is not like, oh gee, I hope Mrs. Jones, I hope you heal. Oh, that's not faith. Faith isn't like, oh, I hope this will happen. You don't have to have faith. Faith doesn't make the keys fall down. Faith is knowing that they're going to fall down. Faith comes from a knowingness. Faith is knowing that innate will do its job when you move the bone. That's faith. Faith is the same thing as knowing that gravity is going to pull those keys down. Faith is a knowingness. And it comes from understanding the law. And universal intelligence, innate intelligence is the law. Here's a great word I love, voca. It comes from Latin. Voca has to do with your voice. We get, what do you vocalize? What do you speak? What's your vocabulary? What group of words do you use? Your vocabulary is your group of words. What do you use your voice to tell your patients? Are you talking subluxation? Are you talking innate intelligence? Or are you talking about strains and sprains and treating symptoms? What's your vocabulary? What are you using your voice for? We also, from voca, we also get the word vocation. Vocation is your right occupation. Are you in your right occupation? I think everybody in this room is already in their right occupation. Are you aware of it? Be aware of it. You are where you belong. That's your vocation. You are in your right occupation, being a chiropractor. Work and play. We think they're opposites. I think they're the same. Work and play are the same darn thing. I go into my office, am I working or playing? Yes. Yes. Let me tell you something, I'm a skier. I skied a lot this winter. When I'm skiing, when I'm in the middle of a mogul field, when I'm dodging trees in the woods, I'm working hard. When I get to the bottom of the slope, I'm sweating my butt off. It's hard work, physically hard work. You know what? I'm playing, I'm having a ball. All right? Work and play are the same thing. I'm hoping for you that when you're working your butt off and you're seeing lots of patients and you're like, come on, oop, and your patients are telling their kids, hurry up, Doc Gary's busy today, get on the table. You're playing, you're working hard, physically working hard, but you're playing and you're having a great time. When you're in your office, they're the same thing. Work and play are not opposites, they are the same thing. Guys, you got to give me time to touch on this because this is the most important word. The most important word, if you can see that, it's love. It's love. And I just want to share with you this quick thing. Look at this puppy dog. Well, I'm going to tell you something. This puppy dog is no longer with us. Don't cry, Donna. You're going to make me cry. I grew up my whole life thinking that animals didn't love. I lived my whole life believing that dogs could not love. And that pretty little dog right there was full of love. Anyway, I always thought that dogs just gave you those puppy dog eyes and wagged their tails because they wanted a treat. And I thought they were conditioned to do that. That they were just conditioned and that was it. I learned this year how much love comes through that dog. I'm coming. Okay. That dog passed away on February 10th of this year at 2:30 p.m. The dog stopped eating just after New Year's. She just didn't want to eat anymore. And my beautiful wife and my daughter, this was really my daughter's dog, they did everything. They didn't force her to eat, but they coaxed her to eat. They were cooking liver, they were cooking chicken, they were giving her oatmeal, they were giving her vegetables, whatever she would eat. They were just coaxing her to eat. She didn't want to eat anymore. She was just old, and she was about to give up. And I would have to carry her outside to go to the bathroom and carry her back inside. Anyway, I went skiing in France for 10 days, and I was like, please, please, God, don't take the dog until I get home. Well, I was home for 1 hour. Donna picked me up at the airport, and Donna said, the dog's not good. She's just laying in the hall. She can't even stand up. So I went home. I picked her up. I carried her downstairs. We put her in the kitchen. We were trying to feed her, and she just faded. She just laid there. It was beautiful. It was the most beautiful thing. We were all petting her. We were loving on her, and she just slowed down. Her breathing slowed down. Her heart slowed down, and she just stopped. And I'm going to tell you something. That dog gave me a beautiful gift because she pried my heart open, and I realized how much love was there. And I learned to love more deeply. And I'm going to tell you guys something. You got to love. Love yourself, love your patients, love what you do. Because love is the most important thing that we have. And I'm so thankful for this dog because now I know how much love comes through from them. And how much love can come through. Oop. This is my last word. And I want to admonish you guys to please learn to be like a dog. And I'm not talking about being like a dog, like, oh, I love you, go, just come pet me. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about be like a dog. When shit happens in your life, and shit's going to happen in your life, just kick some grass over it and move on. Just move forward. Thank you all for letting me share. I love you all.